Am I wrong for refusing to put my fiance on the house title after he kept handing me empty pens as a prank? I, 34 female, have been with my fiance, 37 male, for 3 years, getting married before the end of this year and recently moved in the house that I inherited from my mom. The house is in my name and it took a lot of talking and convincing from him to have his name on the title as well. Now, honestly, part of me doesn't think this is a good idea, at least not right now, maybe after marriage. But anyway, I've decided to go ahead and put his name on the title so he could go ahead and start contributing towards the mortgage more and lighten my burden a little bit. We've made appointments, decided on which form of ownership we were basing this on. When it was time for me to sign the deed, my fiance stopped me and gave me a pen saying this pen was his lucky pen and told me to use it to sign the deed. I took it and tried to sign, but turned out it was empty. He was like, "Oh, I must have forgotten," while laughing, and then pulled out his other lucky pen. I took it, tried to sign, and that one too was empty. Honestly, seeing how he was laughing, I figured he was messing with me, but he swore he wasn't and pulled out another one of his lucky pens. I tried that one too and it was empty. My fiance started cackling and I felt humiliated, especially with how the gentleman next to him was staring. I got pissed and asked him what that was about, and he said that it was a prank. I asked, "Really? Do you really think this was a time for a prank?" He was like, "It's alright, you can use a real pen now." I pushed the paper away and said, "You know what? Never mind, because I no longer want you on the deed." He lost it completely, saying we had a deal and I can't back out just like that, and that it was a stupid joke that I took too seriously. We had an argument and I refused to sign the deed, at least not then and there. At home, he blew up again, saying I was the one who delayed the process and that he already gave me a real pen and all I had to do was sign the damn paper and get it over with. He accused me of looking for an excuse not to have him on the deed and started the silent treatment, saying there's nothing to say until those papers are signed. Did I really take it too seriously? Am I wrong for not inviting my little brother to my wedding and not telling him until the day before? I, 26 female, just got married a couple of weeks ago in Norway. It was amazing. From the start, my fiance and I knew we wanted a child-free wedding, nobody under 21, as we both find children and tweens very annoying, but we provided childcare for the little kids. Here's a problem. I have two siblings much younger than me, my full sister who's 15 and my half-brother who's 14. My half-brother is the result of an affair my mom had while my dad was away for work, which caused their divorce. My fiance and I decided to make an exception for my sister because we are both close with her and she's a very mature 15-year-old. My mom had figured neither were invited and that they would stay at the hotel for the day, and she was fine with it since they were together. When we told her it was just my brother not invited, she was pissed and sad. He can't stay here alone. I said he could stay with the kids, all under 10 unfortunately, and she told us we could do whatever, but we had to tell him the news. We decided not to tell him until the day before to avoid any major drama during the weeks leading up to it. When we told him, he threw a fit. I said this is why he wasn't invited and left. The wedding day went amazing. When I got back from my honeymoon, I was met with angry texts and voicemails from my mom's family. Half of them didn't even go. Apparently, my mom spilled the beans to my aunt and she told everybody. So, am I the asshole? Am I wrong for making my ex a birthday cake even though his girlfriend told me she had already ordered one? I'm an amateur baker and I like to make cakes for people for their birthdays. My ex doesn't like sweet stuff, but our kids like helping me make a cake for him, so I normally make one for him anyway for their sakes. This year, his girlfriend planned a party for him and she told me that she had already ordered him a cake, so I didn't need to make one. I told her that was fine, but when my daughter kept asking me when we would make her dad's cake and was upset when I said we wouldn't because she assumed I didn't like my ex and that's why I wouldn't make him one. Since the cake has always been more for the kids than for my ex, I decided to just make him a small one since it's not like he eats cake anyway, and I don't want my kids to think I dislike their dad. I told his girlfriend beforehand that I was going to make a small cake and she told me not to and that I couldn't bring it to the party. I told her I had to bring it to the party as that's when the kids would give him his gifts. I offered to come early and give it to him before the other guests arrived and then they could put it away and nobody else would know about my cake, but she didn't agree with me and repeatedly told me not to bring it. I did take it with me in the end, and now she keeps complaining to mutual friends that I did it on purpose to ruin the party and calling me weird for making him a cake after I was told not to. So, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for begging my daughter not to have any more children? I can already tell you, this sounds like grandparents who watch their grandkids all the time and they use them as free childcare. And now that they're having another child, they're like, what the hell? We don't want to watch your kids anymore. Stop having kids. And then the daughter's going to be like, "What? But I want to have kids. Why can't you help me have my kids?" I, 58 female, and my husband Rob, 61 male, have two kids. Erica, 35 female, and Mike, 30 male. Both kids are married, but Erica and her husband Steve, 38 male, live nearby us, and this issue concerns them. They work full time and have two kids, 5 male and 4 female. 5 years ago, my daughter asked my husband and me if we would be willing to become their full time childcare so she could continue to work and afford their comfortable life. We agreed, but we didn't discuss much more than watching the baby and their expectations. I was a teacher and retired 2 years before I could take my pension, so my husband continued to work and we made a few sacrifices like vacations and adding to our savings, but we were able to make it work so I could take my full pension at 55 and my husband retired a year later. Our arrangement worked and we enjoyed having the kids, except by year 3 in 2020, we started to feel like they were taking advantage of our help. In 2020, during the lockdown, they were both working from home. They expected us to keep the kids all day, and we wanted to split the time each week since their preschool and daycare was closed. We settled on 2 with them and 3 with us, and my son in law complained about it pretty much every day. Things got better when the kids were able to go to school. Yeah, sucks to suck, sorry. Fast forward to year 4, 2021, we have a bit of a blow up over kindergarten. My daughter did not want her son, 5 male, to start school in the unknown, but I insisted that he needed to go because I needed the break. I also asked for their daughter, 4 female, to spend more time at the preschool and daycare program. Son-in-law complained about the cost, but I pushed anyway. They relented, and then this past spring, son-in-law pushed for us to take the kids for a week so that they can go on a vacation. We said they needed to take the kids, and he said they couldn't afford it. So no one went on vacation. Maybe this is too much background, but I feel like the context is very important to what I said. My daughter and I were casually having a conversation the other day, and she mentioned she had an OB/GYN appointment and test. I asked her if everything was okay, and she said Steve and her were trying for baby number 3. I asked her what her childcare plan was, and she looked at me like I was crazy and said us. I said that it would have been nice if she had told me this before trying for another baby, and she said it's none of my business. I said it is if I'm providing 5 more years of babysitting. I then told her that we are not a viable childcare option for a new baby and begged her to reconsider. Her daughter is going off to kindergarten, and we feel like we are finally getting our days back to some extent and refuse to start all over again with an infant. Erica said we are making her choose between her dream of 3 kids and financial stability. I argued that she has 2 beautiful children and they are financially stable. They shouldn't ruin that with another baby. I might be the asshole because Erica feels like we should have told her sooner. I feel like I am not because I never agreed to a lifetime of raising their kids. My husband's ex-girlfriend is dying. Her last wish is to be with my husband. As the title goes, my 30 female husband's ex-girlfriend 33 female was recently diagnosed with late-stage breast cancer and her last wish is to be with my husband 35 male. My husband, let's call him Seb, and his ex Tanya became best friends after their breakup a couple of years ago due to her infidelity. They were together for 5 years. Needless to say, they remained in contact even before he met me. I would be lying if I said it never made me feel uncomfortable even once. It did and it still does because Tanya is still in love with my husband. She never denied it and in fact would even call or message me when she couldn't get a hold of Seb. Aside from cancer, she also has some mental health issues. Thus, my husband would always tell me to be kind and patient. Seb is no longer in love with her, of course. She cheated and Seb swore that he will never get back to her and that he only sees her as family. 2 weeks ago, my husband received a call from Tanya to tell him about the sad news. My husband cried with her and told her everything is going to be okay. They were on the phone the whole day. I forgot to mention that Seb and I moved to Australia a few months ago because of my job and Tanya is in Canada. They mostly talk via long distance calls or WhatsApp. They've been in contact almost every day since we left, which always bothers me, but what can I do? After that call, my husband told me everything. To be honest, I felt bad for her and I genuinely feel sad. I asked him what's going to happen now. Seb told me he's going back to Canada, which is a shock. Then he told me that her last wish was to be with him. I didn't see anything except, what about me? He said if I can't leave my job, then he's going to visit me whenever he gets the chance. I walked out without saying anything. Wait. This is your husband? And he's leaving you to go spend time with a dying woman. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I have been avoiding my husband since the phone call and have been ignoring him whenever he tries to bring up the conversation. Yesterday, I found out that he already bought a ticket and is flying back home in January. I feel like he's abandoning me, but at the same time, I feel that I'm selfish for hating both of them. I'm honestly thinking of getting a divorce because obviously he's choosing her over me, but at the same time, I thought of why my husband is so attached to her. Seb considered Tanya and her family like his own as he doesn't have one. She's probably like a sister to him now. No, you don't sleep with your sister. Don't give me that bullshit. But Tanya doesn't feel the same. She's madly in love with my husband, and him granting her wish will surely make her think they still have a chance. My entire life, I've been putting others first. I've been very patient and understanding about their weird relationship. I feel sick, confused. I want to call her, yell at her for ruining my marriage, for trying to steal my husband from me, for using her sickness to get what she wants, for being a bitch. I'm so mad at both of them. What did I do to deserve this?